world will have the music. What's going on there? All right, here. All right. Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Political Spotlight. Welcome back. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa. Whatever else that you're celebrating out there. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hello. I got to figure out how to get the comments on. Here the comments are going. Welcome. It's good to be back here. It's good to be finally upright and walking amongst the living. Welcome all. It's good to be with you. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. Hope you had a good Christmas. We were supposed to be here last night, but literally at like 30 minutes before the show, I'm like kind of getting sick and not doing well. And like, I've just had all the whole drainage thing. So let's see. Christmas was Monday. I have my schedule here in front of me. The schedule that I've got, like, I have a whole room full of calendars, but I still have to make my own handwritten calendars whenever there's something like major going on, like the election or whatever. And so for our time off, we were last on the 21st. We took off Friday and Saturday like normal. And then I was supposed to come on like for 10 minutes on Christmas Eve and tell you all, Merry Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas. Hope everybody, yada, yada, yada. And I was at my grandparents' on Saturday, just kind of killing some time and spending some time with them and doing that stuff. And I went to the store. I went to Walmart when I left there, and it was kind of raining, spitting rain outside, and the Walmart parking lot was crazy, and it was so insane in there. And I found a cart outside, and I like wiped it off, and I was pushing it up towards the door. And literally as the door was opening, I was like, this is not a good idea. I think I'm going to go in here and get sick. I'm pretty certain. That I'm going to get sick in here. So I went in, I kept my head down, and by the time I got home, I was still feeling all right, and I went to bed Saturday night, and Sunday morning I woke up and I had the crud. I had a temperature. I was in the high 100, 101, 102, and doing the old sinus thing and all that stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I've got COVID. I know I've got COVID. I've only had COVID one time. COVID in November of 21. So, I was down for a couple days. We did not go live on Sunday. Of course, I was sick all through Christmas. Sick Monday, sick Tuesday. We were supposed to be back last night, and I could not do it. I said, I need one more night. One more night off. So, but we're back. Chris, Senior. No love's cold down here. Yeah. Hello there, Admiral. Dr. Catherine's here. Joey's here. Amanda's here. No, let me tell you, I was not aware that Josh was going back to Henry County today. So I'm better. I've not had a temperature in a couple days. I don't have a temperature anymore. And and all of that. But I do, I do still have a little bit of the cough, a little bit of the residual like drainage and whatnot. I think that was what was making me sick yesterday, was the drainage. But I just have that thing that like literally everybody is talking about, along with the seasonal affective disorder. I just feel kind of like blah, like I'm just, no energy, no will to like get up and do anything. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But this is the Political Spotlight. It is episode 105. Here's the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the title is Who Understands What It Means to Be a Public Servant? We've got all kinds of public servants packed in here. And really, if I took the three people out of the front, that would look just like a room of people that belong together. But none of these people really belong. Everybody in this picture is like some other kind of somebody else. So we've got Dan Ridenauer here from the city of Muncie. We've got John Mark here from Henry County. We've got a trainee down here in the corner, a trainee cop down here in the very left corner. We've got the Lapel weirdos here. We've got some trainees up here on the right, and then we've got you could be low T. I guess that could be. Maybe we need to get some sponsorships on here for some low T commercials. We'll see. Have to see about that. So then we've got a band of newbies that we'll be checking out tonight here, bringing up the rear of this thing. Counsel and a bunch of goofballs from a whole new place that we'll be talking about. But this is the thumbnail. We'll be talking about all of these people, and we'll be getting to that. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. As always, producer Kate is here pushing the buttons and answering questions, looking up information, and doing a lot of the other hard work from her place down in Mission Control, a place that we fondly call the Duck. Hey, listen, besides me feeling weird and being blah and low T or whatever else, we're just kind of in the blah period right now. Like in the blah period. The week in between Christmas and New Year's, I was talking to Sarah Beach the other day, and I called her, I guess it was yesterday morning. I called her and said, hey, did you hear about this Board of Works deal? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, the Board of Works met today. And she was like, oh, I guess you're right. I kind of still forget that things happen and life goes on after Christmas. And it's like that thing. And I talk about this every year. It's just so blah after Christmas, but before New Year, when no one's doing anything, it's kind of like we're in the land of the living dead. You know what I mean? Everybody's sick and tired and sick and tired and blah and just fed up and ready for spring and ready for the new year and ready for 2023 to be over and kind of ready for it to be, like 2000 again. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But Kate has the agenda. Kate has the agenda up here. Well, we got a comment right now, but has the agenda up here for tonight's show. Episode 105 agenda. We'll be talking about Henry County. I know a lot of you have been looking for information on John Mark, Sheriff Sproles. So we're going to be talking about Henry County. We're going to be talking about Lapel, Indiana. We're going to be doing a really quick First Amendment audit, and I think it's interesting. And I have a very interesting insight on this that I've not seen anybody else in any of the comments talking about. Very interesting. We'll, of course, be talking about some weirdness here at home. And then we're going to be talking about some just total insanity from Falmouth, Kentucky. Most of these things that we're talking about in this video, in this episode, have all been brought to me by listeners, by viewers. These are things that various viewers have brought to me and said, hey, you should talk about this or you should talk about that. And everything except the First Amendment thing. The First Amendment thing I found on my, well, I guess I can't say that. I guess I can. The First Amendment thing I found on my own. I was watching something that Hendry did. And I don't watch a lot of his videos, but I watched this video and it's very interesting. And then everything else, even the thing in Muncie, in all fairness, even the thing in Muncie, Jackie called me and said, hey, have you watched this? Because I was still kind of sick and I hadn't got up and watched it yet. So Jackie brought it to my attention. So we've got a lot to talk about tonight. Insanity in Falmouth, Kentucky is right. Tammy Johnson's aware. I don't know if Tammy's from down there or if she's around here and just happens to know about there. But yeah, we'll be talking about all of that. So I want to thank all of you who are here. And I want to ask you, as always, to do the thing that we do. We are on YouTube. For those of you that are on YouTube, remember, this is YouTube. So we do have to kind of appease the algorithm people. And if you can, do us that thing. Click on the like. Click that like button. Subscribe to the show if you haven't. It's free. It does not cost you to subscribe. All you got to do is you got to click the bell and set that up and set it to all. And that way you'll get notified when we go live. If you're watching live, and you know you're watching live, if you're watching Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday. If you're watching live, we ask that you comment and you interact with us. We are a very interactive show, so please comment in the live chat box off to the right. Or if you're watching this in repeat, and that's anytime after the live stream ends, then comment down below in the comment section. But above all of that, above everything else, we ask that you do us a favor and help the show out by sharing the show with everyone you know. Spread the word. That really helps us out. So, yeah. All right, folks. I'm still a little kind of like winded and just like blah, so bear with me. We've got a lot of show to get through. We're going to talk about a lot of interesting stuff. We've not been here in a while, so tonight's going to be action packed. We got a lot to fit in. It's going to be a show. So we'll have a little bit of everybody's. We'll have a little bit for everybody. Let me get to what we've got going on here. I do want to bring to your attention, before we get started on that, I just want to remind everybody, specifically in Muncie and Delaware County, that we have an important meeting. We've got a lot of important meetings coming up here because it'll be the first of the year and a lot of stuff's going on. We have a Delaware County Council Tax Abatement Committee meeting that is scheduled for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. And it will be located in the Innovation Connector at 1208 West White River Boulevard. And that'll be at 10 a.m. I don't know if they're planning on live streaming it or not, but yours truly will be there. And I will be doing one of two things. I will either live stream it if we have that ability and have that capability based on what they've got. If we've got a good video and a good picture for Wi-Fi, if we have the connectability, we will do that. It's the Innovation Connector, so they get an ass load of money from the city, so they should be wired for that. So we should live stream. If for some reason we cannot, I will record the entirety and put it up, at least so people can see. But if they're not going to present it for your viewing pleasure, I will, one way or another, But I would highly recommend people going to that. But if you can't, you will be able to catch it right here sometime on that day. You'll either be able to watch it live streamed or a little bit later if we have to release it static. So that's that. Okay, so make a rule that would bar anyone from not. Yeah. What a complete and utter load of crap that is. We're going to be talking about that. This is going to be kind of a First Amendment type show, more or less. Isn't most of them though? All right. So first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, we go to Henry County. Does anybody remember a couple years back when they were releasing those just god-awful videos of the ISIS, remember ISIS, the terrorist, the Islamic caliphate, and they were going to make us all Islamic. Where did those guys go? What happened there? I'm not Muslim. Muhammad Bilbrey, your host. Anyways, remember when they were doing all of these videos out in the desert and they were cutting people's heads off and filming it? And I watched a couple of those. They were god awful. But I felt that somebody should at least pay attention to what's going on. And so I watched a couple of them. I can say once you've seen one, it was pretty much all the same. But I was really shocked. I was really shocked when I noticed that Henry County is now producing some of those same type of videos. Now, I want to tell you, Christmas Eve came and I noticed this. Now, I have to say this. I didn't notice this because John Mark, that's my pet name for him. You guys refer to him as Sheriff. John Mark has me blocked from this page, John M. Sproles, because remember, it wasn't for Henry County Sheriff. He added that in only after I sued him. It was John M. Sproles, Henry County Sheriff. He figured that he could make himself look like the victim and make me look like the bad guy after he violated my First Amendment rights and Diane's First Amendment rights and a whole host of other people's First Amendment rights. So then he tried to make it look like, oh, this was always a campaign page. It was, but then he changed it into his official page, and then only after he got sued did he change it back. Well, on this page, he posted this. We had a great time today putting together gift bags for our inmates. We're going to have Christmas together tomorrow afternoon. Wow, look, doesn't that look so nice and so neat? Doesn't that look nice and neat? Like, look how nice and festive that is. Doesn't that look really, really, really amazing? You know? And look, John Sproles didn't invent that. That's been going on in prisons and in jails in all of Indiana's 92 counties, outside of Indiana, from sea to shining sea, from Mexico to Canada and beyond. All right. So John Sproles didn't invent this, but something came to my attention. And For those of you that don't know, I had been a police officer in my past, and I remembered quite vividly a time that I arrested somebody that was a practicing, like, very, very religious Jew. And I got to thinking, oh man, what happens if I arrested that person and he was in jail when they're like shoving Now, I want to stop everybody here real quick and say this, just so there's no confusion. I, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, your host, am a Christian. I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I know where I'm going. I have no problem in trying to fellowship with people. I have no problem trying to spread the word of Christ, but I also understand that I am just a single person, and I'm not jamming it down anyone's throats, and I'm not making anybody participate that doesn't want to. I'm also not the government, okay? And here in America, as a Christian whose rights were given to me, in my mind, by my God, we have something called the First Amendment. And that First Amendment says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So, what we have to be aware of here is there might be people that are in jail, in John's jail, that are not Christian. Oh my gosh. What? It's just probably possible, Maybe they're atheist, maybe they're not, maybe they're Muslim, maybe they're not, maybe they're, Scientologist, who knows? But when I saw this picture, I had questions. And the very first thing that I wanted to do was go to this page and question this man, but I could not, because he violated my First Amendment right. So I was not able to ask John Mark on this post. I wasn't able to even see this post. It got shared to me by someone else that he hadn't violated their rights. So this is not something that he's doing as a candidate, where it makes it look like this is a candidate's page, John M. Sproles for Henry County Sheriff, but he's actually got something that he's doing as sheriff and sharing the county business on that page. So this is now evidence in my lawsuit, which makes Sproles look, all that doubly bad. So that's that, first and foremost. Now, I think it's fantastic. If the sheriff's department wants to go in there, look, those guys are in jail over the holidays. Some of them, look, absolutely deserve to be there. Probably a lot of them. Who knows what they've done? A lot of them probably deserve to be there, and they need to live up to their, like my dad said, you can do anything you want to do in life as long as you're willing to pay the consequences for them. Some of them, maybe they don't need to be there. They need treatment. Maybe they just found themselves there because of an addiction, or maybe, some of them there got caught up and they don't really belong there. There's a whole mix of people there. All right. Maybe some of the people who are there who really deserve to be there are really bad guys and bad girls. Maybe some of them made a mistake and they're really good people. There's a whole plethora of different people being there. That being said, it's nice when the staff can treat them like humans and be nice. and giving them treats and doing that, I've got no problem with that. I have no issue with the sheriff saying, we're going to be nice to these guys and do this. All right. But I just want to know, did they jam this down their throats? Did people get in trouble if they didn't want to participate? Did they, were they punished if they didn't get, did they get punished if they didn't want to participate? I saw that he took in a bunch of like chocolate and candies. Did they have things there for people who had allergies? There's all sorts of things going on there. Okay. Um, so that's that. All right. I want to get to the self-promotion because as we know, John Sproles is full of self-promotion. So I wake up and I notice this. I don't know exactly what day this was. Was this actually on Christmas? No. Oh, yeah, it was. This was on Christmas. Well, it was on Christmas that it was posted. Okay. Now, I've thought very, 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 very hard about how to do this because I was going to take just a picture of this and blur these guys' faces out because I didn't want to, I'm not trying to shame these people one way or another, like, they belong there, they don't belong there, whatever, and do all that. But look, the sheriff posted this on social media. It's out there on social media. And it's important that the world sees. I'm covering this I'm not a journalist, but as a news piece, and then I'm going to give commentary on it. So it is what it is. All right. I'm not going to show everyone. I'm not going to show them all. And I'm not going to have them on there for a very long time. But it is important for people to see that might not have seen this or might not be from around here. So this is what happened. The sheriff he posts 12 videos. We had a wonderful time sharing Christmas with our inmates. Some of our inmates wanted to send personal greetings to their families. We had a blast making the videos. Lots of great people here and so much to enjoy and connect with. I want to say a special thank you to the organization Christmas Behind Bars. They provided us huge gift bags for each inmate. I shared the story with every inmate that I shared the story with every inmate that that the man who started Christmas Behind Bars was once an inmate just like them 29 years ago. Now he's blessing inmates all over the state and in other states by giving out multiple thousands of huge bags for Christmas. What a blessing this ministry has been to our people. We handed out the gift bags to our inmates. We sang with them, we prayed with them, and had a great time. Many tears were shed, and we thoroughly enjoyed our time together. Thank you to the Henry County Sheriff's chaplains and the jail staff and all of the volunteers. It was a beautiful Christmas here at the Henry County Sheriff's Office. We love and care for everyone here. Enjoy the personal greeting videos from the inmates, okay? And so basically what happened is they did this.
All right, so Christmas with inmates, 2023, and these guys wanted to say hi and Merry Christmas to the family. So they're going to introduce themselves and say hi, Merry Christmas. How about, brother? My name is Trent.
All right, now I'm not going to go through and play their personal greetings because they're personal greetings and they're for their people. And if people want to get on and see that, you can get on the Henry County Sheriff's website and see that. I'm not trying to blast those people out or whatever. It is what it is. People might say, well, wait a minute. Bilbrey, what are you bitching at? This is that's a nice and loving thing. It is. And we shoot them all with beanbags either before or after Christmas is done, I want to give me 1 second here as I look this up here. I want to make sure that I've got this. Oops. Okay, here we go. All right. So I wanted to offer this up. So when I get to look at this, okay, and I see this, it's like, yeah, it looks really good. But you know what else I think could have happened? I think the sheriff could have set up a bank of phones and let these guys call home to their loved ones privately and said, not made them pay, not made them have to do anything, but gave them a chance to call home privately and have time on the phone with their mom and dad, maybe giving them 15 minutes each or whatever. And, in that 15 minutes, they could call and say hello to mom and dad. They could call their wife and their kids or their brother and their sister or their husband or whoever they wanted to call. You know what I mean? And more importantly, not blasted it out on social media so that Sproles looked like the hero of all heroes. That's what happens. Okay. And, I think that if the sheriff would maybe dive into that Bible a little bit deeper and read what the Bible says about charity, he might maybe pull back on how boastful he is about all of his good deeds that he does. It's not like he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart. Maybe he is. But the fact that it's so well produced and that he's made such a big spectacle of this is the thing that kind of just doesn't sit right with me. I think that he could have accomplished those same goals with that and not done all. I think he went way, 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 way too far. Joe says when Ho Chi Minh made videos like this with American POWs, he was called a war criminal under the Geneva Convention for using prisoners as propaganda tools. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is very, very true. And for man, for let me get pull this up here. For the people out there that were wanting to know about that is a very real thought. The Geneva Convention states that POWs must be protected from acts of violence or intimidation and against insults and public curiosity. On this basis, using any physical or psychological mistreatment to force captives to talk on film is illegal, as is any release of images that undermines their dignity. Now, I don't think that there's anything happening here that's that's undermining these men's dignities or whatnot. And overall, this was done in the name of, Christmas and goodwill and good cheer. And I understand that. But I just really, really, really have an issue with the self-promotion. You know what could have happened? The sheriff could have, if he chose to go this way, the sheriff could have talked about it in one video and then shot the videos with everyone else saying, the sheriff's in every video. He's in every video, front and center. I think in a couple of them, he's got the inmates holding him sideways, and like in a couple of videos, he's trying on their clothes. They're trying on his, but none of those guys in there could wear a children's medium like Sproles wears. But it's just, yeah, right. It's like, hey, I shot one of you point blank range not too long ago. You guys want to do this? They're like all afraid to say no, So I don't know. I just felt kind of, maybe I'm negative Nancy, but I just felt kind of icky, Why didn't, if that's his campaign, then he's using inmates as campaign tools. Absolutely. That's exactly right. Well, and here's the problem, Brandon. So yeah, it's like, what is it? Because as we all know, it's not his campaign page. We know that he chose that to be a page where official John Mark, the sheriff of the America's sheriff, talked to the people, his people. But when he got sued, he had to go back in and he changed the wording to then make it a campaign page. So now it's like, kind of, he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. It's like he needs to decide which bad he wants it to be. I would much rather him go back to making it an official page and allowing everyone to have access to it. Maybe I could have asked him these questions, but he's got me blocked. So I guess we'll never know. All right. So that's that. I do want you to know I am also working on something really big out of Henry County. Before we went on Christmas break, I told you all that I had sent a couple of record requests to Henry County and I had not received anything back yet. Well, on Friday the 22nd, I actually had 3 emails back from Joel Harvey, the attorney from Henry County. And he had responded to one of my requests. He had given me a couple of records that I had requested. He has not completed the entirety of my requests. I have 2 requests out, and those 2 requests are asking for a lot of information. In request 1, I'm asking for about 7 or 8 different things, and they are kind of bigger things. I'm asking for like several different body cameras. I'm asking for several different reports. And then in the second request, I'm asking for a couple of things. So looking at that request as one over total request, they have completed about 3/4 of it. He told me on the 22nd, not including the holidays, he would have the rest of my request to me within 14 business days. So that was on the 22nd. And I'll be honest, I'm not counting any of this week. So starting next week, I will count that 14 days. Now, in my opinion, Joel will more than likely, because I know Joel was there this week. So I trust Joel in that regard. Joel's never screwed me up as far as a record request has been. So we will have the rest of that. And once I get everything compiled, we will be going through it. And I'm going to give you guys a little teaser. It is in reference to the recent Elvante Riddick arrest. And after that Elvante Riddick arrest happened, I've came on here and I've talked about how I kind of, we had Elvante on, all that stuff was happening after all of Sproles' other weirdness. And I really went heavy on Sproles on that. And then after the arrest happened, I kind of thought, all right, Elvante's kind of, maybe he's being a little bit of a punk. He shouldn't be doing this. But then someone called it to my attention and said, hey, maybe there's more to this than what you originally thought. And so I got to looking into this a little bit more, and I believe there is more to this than what we originally thought. So I'm going to have more about this, and it will be soon. So just FYI, we will have some more Sproles information and more Sproles talk in the very near future. And I think it's going to be a big story if all of this comes together when it's all said and done. So just keep your eyes and your ears open for that. All right, next, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the amazingly backwards town of Lapel. Moving to Lapel, Indiana. Lapel is in Madison County. And for all of you that know, Lapel is, yeah, Diane, I would say, I wouldn't be surprised if that is a true statement. So, Lapel is, yeah, Jackie, that is a good question, and I'm going to check into all of that. So I will let you. I will follow up on all of that. All right. So on with the Lapel deal. Lapel is in Madison County. Lapel, of course, is where the doctor's from and has done a lot of work. She posted this on her YouTube page back on the 21st. And this is in the middle of a meeting. It's a 2-hour long meeting, but we're not going to listen to the whole meeting. I just want you to listen to a little bit, listen to their discussion. And what this is surrounding is public comments and comments on social media. It goes kind of hand in hand with Henry County and what Sproles is doing and what's going on an official page. And primarily, you have to understand this is how these people that are supposed to be public officials, how they think and feel about the people that they work for, the citizens, what they think about them and how they think they should interact with or not interact with. So we're going to pull this up here now and see what kind of buffoonery is going on in Lapel. All right, here, let's get this pulled up.
Section of the meeting, public hearing, or very similar to the rezone that we had a couple months ago. The council presiding chair, if they so choose to do their policies and procedures, can change things up and allow additional public comment during those very controversial or different items during the meeting to preserve a sense of professionalism and decorum. We can't just walk into the state legislature and just walk onto the floor and start talking. We'd get taken out in some special bracelets and sent a couple blocks down the street. So you have to have a sense of decorum to run the people's business. And this is just one of those policies that you put in place to have that sense of decorum, keep it as civil as you possibly can. We've lost civility in this country, so this is just one of those items.
So, and all that being said, again, there's so many opportunities to contact us, and the one thing that I would caution everybody or advise, all of us up here on this board have full-time jobs during the day. I know I'll get in trouble at work if I do town business while at work. It's a no-no to, just like state employees can't do private work while they're getting paid by the state. I can't do state work or town work while I'm getting paid by my boss. So please be respectful if you do call one of our cell phones, that if it's during the day, we may not answer, but we'll get back to you.
Okay, I want to talk about this for a second. So here's the thing. First of all, this is a town board, and what's really, really crazy to me is we have elected officials and then we have consultants and attorneys. Okay, they are there to give the elected officials their thoughts and what's best, but I don't expect to hear from the consultants. I don't expect the consultants or the attorneys to be doing much talking to the citizenry. You're not elected. We didn't elect you to sit there we didn't elect you for your intellect. We are not capable of firing you if we so choose. In order to fire you, we've got to go through them to fire you, which we can do. But I want the consultants and the attorneys and everyone else that the elected officials bring into the picture, I want them to be as children, be seen and not heard. I want to hear from the elected officials. Now, going to what the man in the middle is very interesting to me. He's the new president, and he says, you know, you can call us and contact us, and we want to be this, but you got to understand, I can't do work for the town during the day. Well, first and foremost, okay, I got to say this. If you work for a town or a city that is big and busy enough that you are having work or need to be doing work during the day, maybe you shouldn't run for office if you have a job that prohibits you from being able to take calls from constituents. Like, that's something that we have to ferret out. If your job doesn't allow you to do the work of the people that you were elected to do when they call, okay, maybe you don't get to serve until you get, a better position. Maybe you don't run for office until you're retired. Now listen, I'm not trying to be too extreme. I understand people have to have day jobs and yada, yada, yada. And it's okay. I don't demand that every time I pick up the phone and call an elected official, they answer. There's nothing wrong with leaving a message and letting them call you back. And, I think that someone calling you back within a 24-hour period is a legitimate thing. I have no problem. I have, no problem with that. You know what I mean? So I don't think he's being too unreasonable here. Okay. But yeah, that's the other issue there, though, Audie. I can't do work for the town during the day because I'm at work, and I can't talk after 5 p.m. because it's my family time. And I don't want to read you on social media because we block you there because it's not an official area. And I don't want to hear you at the meeting because we have to have decorum. Okay. So I think that's oh no, you're absolutely right, Diane Baker. And I'm not suggesting that only retired people should be on the council. I'm mostly saying that we need more people on the council that aren't whiny, bitchy children. That's what I'm asking for. Adults to be, because look, I'll be honest. I mean, most people in professional settings, like, I don't know where this guy works. I mean, obviously, if he's working the drive-through at McDonald's, they're probably not going to let him on the phone. But I would say, I've talked to a lot of younger elected officials on the phone while they've been doing their work during the day, and they've called me. It's not been me calling them. So I think that this guy's kind of a bitch.
Meetings with officials during like their lunch hour.
Yeah, right.
You can do work during the day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right. The coroner's office for, imagine if you're the coroner, We've had a fatality. Okay, well, he's going to have to stay there till 5 because I can't get off work. All right. Let's continue on here a little bit. And I'm sorry for the audio. It's up as loud as it can go.
There is voicemail.
And there is voicemail. Yep. Very well stated. Okay, so resolution 27 dash 2023 basically states that to better inform the public as to upcoming events and official action taken by various town agencies, boards, town of Lapel, and through Lapel.
To better keep the public informed.
Establishes and maintains various online social media sites.
The town of Lapel establishes and maintains various online social media sites.
And whereas the council deems these sites an excellent opportunity for citizens to communicate concerns or to provide feedback relating to town government.
Whereas the town considers this an excellent way for citizens to address concerns.
And whereas to properly balance the town's desire for a productive public forum and free speech consideration.
Now we're starting to go off track here. Whereas the town wants to balance, I'm not concerned about the government's ability or the wish or the desire to balance anything. When we start talking about balancing, to me, that does not sound like the First Amendment.
The council deems it desirable to establish a policy for the regulation of comments made on town-regulated social media sites and pages. Whereas the council deems it desirable to adopt the attached comments policy, Exhibit A, which will be enforced by, and we haven't named the person yet that will be responsible for that. And the list of the exhibit, we have the right to remove any material that contains anything obscene, vulgar, or sexually explicit, is spam, advocates or depicts illegal activity, targets or disparages any ethnic, racial, religious, gender, or other type of group, contains personal attacks of any kind, promotes private businesses.
All right. So everything else is basically standard boilerplate community standards for Facebook or whatever, until they get to the point where they're talking about personal attacks. Listen, what's a personal attack? Is a personal attack telling the dude in the gray that's reading this, the president, that I feel like he has no business being on the council? I feel like you're a jerk of jerks, and I think that, you know, you should not have been elected. You're an idiot, and I can't wait until someone can run against you. Like, he might not like those words. He might consider that a personal attack. That's not. I know, Ryan. I know, Alva. I don't know. Could all the Ryans please stand up?
Ventures, services, or products, campaigns for public office or promotes a political organization or candidate, infringes on copyrights or trademarks, jeopardizes the safety of personnel in the conduct of operations or investigations, or is off topic. So we're not required to read all that information as it is posted online, but I just wanted to make sure that we covered it for everybody here, if you hadn't seen it, to know.
Here's the bottom line. The town of Lapel, I don't know why this is so hard for people. Government officials, please listen to me. You can shut comments off and not allow anyone to comment. I think that's stupid and unwise. But if you cut it off across the board, you're okay. Or you can open it up to everybody, which I think is what you should do. And then you should let people police themselves and, you know, go on with it. What you cannot do is you cannot do this thing that Lapel has been doing, where they open it up and they let some people comment and they stop other people, and this comment has it and these comments don't. And they're playing a game with it. It's got to be all or nothing. It's got to be all or nothing. It's not that hard.
What in the world it is we're talking
So to be clear, comments are still open. They are not turned off. Right?
And one of the things, I know there's been debate because we have, because of some things starting to go sideways on comments, we have had comments turned off on posts recently that because we don't have a policy in place, this policy is to regulate that.
This dude is an idiot of idiots. I'm telling you, yeah, there's a policy in place. It's called the First Amendment, you tool.
Where comments will be turned on, and the understanding that if somebody starts, for lack of a better term, a flame war or something like that online, we have the right to go.
Listen, I can't. I want to flip that table over. I don't ever expect my elected official or an elected official to talk. Does he not real? Who does he think he is? He's sitting there with a straight face, with a room full of other idiots, with this guy in the blue life jacket, and Evan over here playing attorney. They're sitting there with straight faces, talking to a room full of adults like this. I would think any minute the camera would pan around and he's talking to a room full of 6-year-olds. That's the only thing that would make this okay. Now, I've not seen what's behind the camera, but here in a second, when I get back on camera, and I think I can probably ask the doctor, he's not talking to a room full of 6-year-olds, right? He's talking to a bunch of adults that are citizens of Lapel. And if that's in case the fact, you guys should have all walked up and left. Man, I don't know. There is no reason this fool should be talking the way that he is. It's disgusting. It's despicable. And he needs to remember who he is and forget this nonsense, because this is foolish.
And keep it on topic and respectful. So,
and this is not the chatter page.
No,
That is not a town sanctioned group.
Yeah. Everyone's always welcome to take what we post, share it on their page, and then comment as you wish. That's the beauty of the free speech. It's just, this is the town site, and we respect to keep it respectful. So, anybody on the council have questions, comments, or concerns?
I think we should leave the comments turned off, personally.
That's
I
kind
think
of
it's
where
an
I'm at.
informational
If
website.
it's informational, it's not necessarily a forum, it's just to get information out.
But I think we should have this policy, so if we do need, like if we change our mind and allow comments, then we've already got this in place.
That's why I asked the question of, are comments on? It's probably always better that they're not. It's informational only, but that's why I asked the question.
Right. And if somebody's questioning why we would turn off the comments on a post, very much like here,
Listen,
unless it's a public comment section of the meeting, you guys don't get the opportunity to chime in and throw in your 2 cents worth. That's not how the rules work. So No.
I'm so sick of hearing about people talking about rules. It's not rules. It's laws or some bullshit that you've got in your mind. He's right. There needs to be some decorum in meetings so meetings can be conducted. But they're in a public building. If a citizen wants to start chanting, you suck, like, he can not like it. They can adjourn the meeting. But, it's that catch-22 we always talk about. I am so... What?
They're on about decorum.
Yeah.
Decorum and kindness. Look at this. This is great. This is from Facebook. Can you read that? You see it?
Yeah,
But anyway, all the
right.
people here in town, fucking trash will still be picked up, except people who have fake profiles, and you know who you are. That's decorum and kindness.
Yeah, right. So people who don't have fake profiles, there's nothing illegal with having a fake profile. If you have a fake profile, is your trash not going to be picked up? How do they know?
Not.
How do they know who that is? Oh my God, that is Diane. I am not fake. Jack Ryan says that's an elected official's husband who said that. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. He gets ready to say something here that makes me really mad, and then we're getting ready to move on. But let's listen to this.
So having that opportunity to comment on a post is kind of the same thing. It's not a fair. I don't know if fair is the right word for it, but it's not a fair representation. If you couldn't stand up and say those things in our meeting, then you shouldn't be able to make the comment on Facebook.
What? So this jackass literally just got done saying, if you can't stand up and make a comment here, you shouldn't be able to say that on Facebook. Hey, Chad, what about the people who can't make it there because they're working 2 jobs? What about the people who can't make it there because they're taking care of a loved one? What about the people who can't make it to your ignorant ass meeting because they're feeding their family or they're doing any other number of things? Are you saying they can't now utilize their First Amendment right to tell you to flip sand? Catherine, are you still here? When's your next meeting? Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I can't believe what's going on with this. So yeah, it's absolutely insane to me. What's going on there? When's the next town of Lapel town council meeting? Like, can you give us when their meetings are? Like, or is it the last something of the month or the first and the second of the something of the month? Can you tell us when those are? Or does somebody know? Anybody? Somebody? I'll make a comment here. I'll make a comment. Yeah. This tool bag. This dude went out and bought a gavel. Dink, 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 dink. He got tired of having to use his Pizza Hut glass he stole. Here's the thing, folks. They meet in a bar. It's a freak. It's like a freak event that there is. Wait, this is not the bar they're meeting in, right? This is the actual town council that they're currently in, but they generally meet in a bar. They meet at the Eagles. Can you believe that? And they're talking about decorum. What if it's like, dink, 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 I'll have another? You know? All right, hold on.
Ultimately, is one way to look at that. So, not on Facebook, or on the social media, or.
And here's their attorney. I mean, I don't know. He looks like he's asleep. Evan, what are you doing, dude?
Again, this is something that
get a hold of these people.
Presented it. If we have the opportunity, if somebody feels good about it and they want to make the motion to pass it at this meeting, we can entertain a motion to approve the resolution. If the motion doesn't carry, then it doesn't carry. If it does, it does. this time, we would open it to council comment or entertain a motion.
You hear him like begging people to do something about this. Like this is so weird. He's
To approve resolution 27-2023.
We decided to leave the comments turned off, correct?
Well, no, we'll have to create a policy, because at the end of the day, we as a council want to make sure that we are establishing a consistent method. So right now,
turn the comments on and go about your business. That's pretty consistent.
we don't have a policy that says
Right, no, I know that.
necessarily
But I
the
meant-
comments are turned off. So it might be an amendment to this or a different resolution altogether.
I just didn't clarify.
First of all, they're talking about a resolution. So a resolution isn't even law. A resolution, you wipe your ass on a resolution. Resolution is not binding. So whatever, I like, this is a joke. This is absolutely a joke what they're doing here.
I'll make the motion for resolution number 27 dash 2023.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Chad,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Lindsay. Yes.
It passed.
Larry,
Yes.
Roger.
Yes. All right. Motion carries.
Man, this seems like a lively bunch. I don't understand. How much are these people getting paid to do this? This is disgusting. This is, they all need to resign. Every one of these, everybody on that board needs to go. So I just want to let you see this, folks. And this is happening. This is happening in your big cities. It's happening in Fort Wayne. It's happening in Indianapolis. And I'm telling you what's going on. Yeah. Ask away, Catherine. No, it was not an or. Hold on. Let me go back and see. I think he said a resolution.
We decided to leave the comments turned off, correct?
Well, no, we'll have to create a policy, because at the
This is just one of those.
caution, everybody, or advise, all of us up here on this board have full-time jobs during the day. I know I'll get in trouble at work if I do town business while I'm overseas, can't do private work. So,
There is voicemail.
and there is voicemail. Yep.
Very well stated.
Okay, so resolution 27.
No, it's resolution. It's a resolution. So it is not. Okay, a couple things. It is a resolution, so it's not an ordinance, and they do not have to allow public comment before they vote. They do not have to do that. I've said this before. First of all, folks, if you have not picked up a copy online of the Indiana Public Access Handbook, you need to get a copy of this, but it lays it all out there for you. So at public, the only time that you are guaranteed that the council has to open the floor for public comment is at a public hearing. Anytime they're going to be talking about appropriations and voting on appropriations, or anytime they're going to be voting on the budget, anytime they're going to be doing things like that, they have to be doing, anytime they have a public hearing. As far as having regular monthly council meetings, technically, it's a catch-22. By law, they do not have to allow public comment space. Now, 99.999% of all governmental bodies do allow public comment because they realize what a cluster it would be if they didn't, and people would protest. It would be crazy. Most of the people do it. They'll allow it at the beginning of the meeting. They'll allow it at the end of the meeting. Muncie does a very good job with how they do theirs. They allow public comments for anything you want to talk about at the end of the meeting. However, during the meeting, when they talk about any ordinance or resolution, they call the number, they read it, they have a discussion, they allow presentation on it, and then they allow anyone to get up from the audience and talk about it, pro or for or against, talk about that issue. Then they call the question, then the council has discussion, then they vote. But they don't have to do that. City of Muncie just is very good in how they do that. All other people should do the same thing. They technically do not have to do that. But again, it's my belief they should. I mean, they should open that up because they should want to hear what the citizens want. But a lot of places don't want that. So what they do is they hold their meetings and they allow the public to speak at the end, or they will allow the public to speak at the beginning. I've seen some proactive places allow public comments at the beginning and the end. And so it is what it is. But that's that. Yeah, I would like, it would be amazing because number one, and the other thing is you do not have to give your name and you do not have to give an address to speak, folks. You do not have to do that. You do not have to do that. So just keep that in mind as well. 1000%. Okay. So now I want to, moving on to another First Amendment issue, okay? Just I want you guys to know this is how they're doing things all over the place. And what they're
This
doing.
resolution is a near carbon copy of the one that Winchester tried passing.
Yeah, right.
And Winchester stole it from somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is going around the state.
Yeah, yeah. And what happened with what happened with Winchester's?
The citizens threw a fit until they rescinded it,
and they said it was basically it was illegal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So as long as they keep the comments on, but I know Lapel is very small-minded, and I know they will get themselves in trouble. They will get themselves in trouble. So, all right. On to another First Amendment issue, folks. Moving right along. This is interesting, and this is not going to be nearly as long. I just want you guys to see this. This is from Henry. Now, you all know I don't really like the term First Amendment auditor. I mean, I'm like, wait a minute. We have a whole lot of other amendments that are important. They're all important. They're all equally important. They're all very, very important. If anything, I would say call yourself a constitutional auditor, but it is what it is. I'm not going to get into my thoughts and feelings on First Amendment auditors. They all do what they do. I do what I do. We do different things. Like I have no problem fighting for the First Amendment. No one could say differently. I've been arrested for my First Amendment violation. I fought right there in the trenches. I've been through 2 lawsuits for my First Amendment. I'm in a 3rd right now. So I definitely have, I have my battle scars to prove. That being said, this is a very interesting thing. I want you guys to watch this.
Are you with family? Like, are you?
I just can't disclose that.
What's your name?
I'm not going to answer that question, my brother.
Are you with Jeff?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
I certainly don't answer questions.
Hello, everybody. CH and Ty Audit. This is CH. We are here today in a parking lot full of police cars.
So now, if you guys don't recognize where this is the one and only Indiana Law Enforcement Training Academy. You've got Henry here, Craig Henry, who used to be CH and Ty Audits. Now he's just Henry. He's on his own. They'll go around, and you all know what a First Amendment audit is. Everybody knows what it is by now. I don't know how long he's had this out. I guess he's had this out for, he just put this out here not too long ago. I thought this was old. He just recently did this. I watched this the other day, and as soon as I saw it, I knew where he was. When I saw the back half of these buildings, you can't forget this place. I knew where he was, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be bloody brilliant. All right. So what he's doing, he's out here. He's just walking around a parking lot. It's a public space. It's not illegal for him to be in it. He could be there all day long. There's nothing wrong with someone being in a public space. You know, it is what it is. There's police officers here, okay, that are coming from all over the state of Indiana for various things. 90% of the cars in the parking lot are new rookie trainee cops who are coming to the academy to learn how to be cops. They're going to school. They're learning. They're learning constitutional law. They're learning traffic law. They're learning all kinds of different things. It's amazing. So these people should be fresh on this stuff because they're just learning it. So what you see here in a few minutes is a bunch of trainees, officers. Now, they're not in the state of Indiana. They get hired and they are actual police officers. Some of these officers have been on the road for a day and then they go to the academy. Some of them have not been on the road, period. Some of them get hired and go straight to the academy. Some of them get hired and they go on the road for 6 months or a year and get trained by their department. And then they go to the academy, okay? All officers, before they go to the road, have what's called the 40-hour pre-basic. So they all get a little bit of school training, blah, 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 firearms training, defensive tactics training, driving training, before they get cut loose. But not all cops go to the academy before becoming cops. But you have to do it within the first year. So these people are here, and we're going to see all of these newbie rookie cops descend on Hendry and his friend, and they're trying to get them to tell who they are. And Hendry's really good at this. Hendry doesn't get crazy. Sometimes he'll cuss at him a little bit, but he's really pretty good at keeping his cool. I can respect him in what he does. I like him a lot more than some of the others. But I noticed something really interesting. And so when I first saw this, well, I'll take you through it how I saw it. So I'm watching it. We're going to start watching it. Here we go.
Now, this is the police academy for the state of Indiana. So we have got people from all over the state, law enforcement from all over the state of Indiana here. And
nothing illegal with what he's doing. Everything perfectly legal. Everything that you can see in public, it's perfectly legal for him to film and record. There's nothing illegal. They might not like it, but what you like versus what's legal might be two different things. Nothing illegal with what he's doing.
Doesn't ever hurt. You help teach it to him, I'm sure. You can see. Can you see that? She's looking for help. Like, what are we gonna do about this guy? He's just here recording. That guy in that car doesn't even know what to do. See that guy in that Charger?
This is great.
Hi. Doing all right?
Doing all right. How are you?
Doing good.
sir, are you with a family or?
I'm not gonna answer that question, my brother. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
You doing good?
All right. Now, I've already noticed. I don't know how many of you have noticed. How many of you have noticed what I've noticed? You don't know what I'm saying, but wait, just hold on here a second here. This is so weird to me.
Great.
Is your reason for being out here today, or just are you with family? Like, are you?
I just can't disclose that at the moment, my man.
All right. What's your name? My name's Austin.
You're Austin?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it's good to meet you, my brother. I'm just your American brother, my man. I'm not gonna give you my name.
He's officer in training. Austin has asked him to give his name like 3 times already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Her name's Grace.
Yeah. Hey there.
Hi, Grace.
Yeah, we're just.
Nice to meet you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Like, I know she just seriously heard him tell Austin here that he was not going to give his name, and it's like programmed in them. Like, she just said, "Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't get your name." Well, yeah, right. You just heard me tell him I'm not going to listen. All right, hold on. Here we go.
I didn't give it.
Oh, you didn't give it. Okay.
No.
Apologies. I got you.
Hey, you good?
I'll look at her here. Will you let the staff know?
Really nice day out. That's for sure.
For December, it's insane.
Right.
It is insane. Yeah. And it's gonna get warmer, so.
Who are you, sir?
Pardon me?
And who are you, sir?
I'm a taxpayer.
I'm a taxpayer.
Okay. I got you.
How are you, sir?
Hey, look at her.
What's your name?
I'm Jeff.
Nice to meet you, Jeff. You guys out here for the graduation or anything?
So they ask him if they're here for the graduation. There's a class graduating today. Last week.
How big is a graduating class?
I mean, it's a pretty good size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good size indeed.
They've really updated this place.
Yeah.
You serious, Jeff? This looks like it hasn't been updated for about 50 years. So come on. Are you? Yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll look beautiful afterwards. It's looks like the materials are nice, but it's certainly dirty now, isn't it?
Yeah, they're working on the facility.
Yeah.
Adding on, so.
Yeah, that's great. It's great.
So he walks away, which is perfectly illegal
They
because
are.
he's
They are
not being detained. You know, he's in a public place. They came up, you know, that they have no ability to train him, you know. Hey, sir, do you mind standing over here with us so we can talk a little bit longer?
No. Yeah. Well, I'll let you guys hang out if you guys want to. I mean, I am going to take a little walk. I'm just checking it out. I mean, yeah.
So at this point, I was watching this the other day, and I thought this. Instantly, I thought, this would be brilliant if the Academy got a hold of Hendry and said, we want you to come to the Academy and mill around and do this, and we're going to see how the trainees coming in, because that's what they're doing. They're getting here. They're getting ready to do on this day. They're having a graduation, and one class goes out, and then they would like basically be done for the holiday season, and then a training class will start like, you know, the first or second week of January. So like these people are near the end of their run in it, so they should be like really up on their stuff. Like they're going to graduate here in the next day or so from when that video was recorded. And then they're going to go back to their towns and their cities, and they're going to be full-fledged cops, and they're going to be in the field training position for the next 3 to 6 months or year, however long their department mandates it. And then they're going to be out on their own. And I thought at this very point in my mind, I'm thinking, man, it would be hilarious if the Academy had some people come and do this as kind of a test on how these trainees would handle themselves. So far, these two people have done okay, kind of, but in my opinion, like I'm not going to push it. I have been a cop. I am never going to stop somebody and be like, hey, why are you filming? Can I get your name? I did not give a shit. All right. Let's watch this. Okay. Because then that's my first thought I had. But I also had another really weird thought. And I've seen it several times, but I've not seen anybody here in the comments say it yet. And I've still yet to this point not seen anybody mention this in Hendry's comments. I mentioned it, but I'll see if anyone says it here. There's something really strange going on with everyone you're going to see, and I want to see if you pick up on it.
A lot of people. So we got a graduating class today.
This girl's still following him around.
This guy with Jeff, I guess.
Hmm?
Are you with Jeff?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Wait, you got me that time finally? Because I've told you 3 or 4 times. Have you seen it yet?
Am I being detained?
No, but just for all of our safeties right now.
I don't know this lady. She doesn't know me. We're on public property that neither of us owns nor has any claim to, yet she feels entitled to follow me around, ask me for favors, and when I do not oblige, to threaten me. This woman will make a great police officer. New Albany, Indiana, I hope you're ready. Hey, that doesn't make sense.
None of these people have actual guns. None of these cops that you're going to see here, this is the big insight that I had. When I saw in the first 30 seconds of this video, I saw the guy had a blue gun. So at the academy, they have what's called red guns or blue guns or orange guns. And they're basically, what they are is they're weighted to feel like a full Glock or a full Beretta or a full Smith & Wesson. They have several different models there, and the officers will carry them to do defensive tactics with and whatnot. As you can see, she has a, can we take that banner down real quick? You can see her gun is orange. Guns are not orange, okay? They're black or they're steel or, silver looking. This is
That's not technically true.
Just say,
there are some very, very pretty colored weapons at Trigger Outdoor Sports.
Most, and that is very true. Most of your uniformed officers are not going to carry those around. Most of them are going to be carrying their black, so they blend in, yada, yada, yada thing. But these officers are carrying the training guns. Okay, so that's what I think is interesting. So watch these people. First of all, at least they're trained well because they're keeping their hands on them. Like any minute, they're going to have to draw one of these fake guns and hold these people at fake gunpoint here in a minute. But watch this here in a minute. People just descend on all of these people here in a minute. And there's 30 of these trainees out there. And I'm thinking these guns that they've got are heavy, but they're heavy pieces of plastic. So they could beat them to death with them. But that's about as far as they would go. Okay. Yeah, right. They're not right. Here we go.
No, my hand is just fine in my pocket.
Okay, if you don't have anything in there, it's totally fine. Okay, I don't know if anything's in there.
I don't know if anything. I know you've got a gun on you.
No, I wish she wouldn't have said that.
Am I detained? Okay. Then don't tell me where to walk respectfully, ma'am. All right, I won't tell you what to do either. Okay.
We're all good, sir. We're minding the peace of our own parking lot, stuff like that, and you were videotaping, so we're just trying to see what's.
Just trying to maintain the peace.
Yep.
Right.
That's what we're here for.
They're failing.
God bless,
so far.
man. I wish there were a lot more law enforcement that just tried to maintain the peace.
Look at this.
It'd be awesome.
1.
So does anybody know the number of the graduating
3, 4,
class?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's a general number, man. There's a lot of classes, a lot of sizes, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
It's a pretty good group of people, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that that vibe.
Definitely.
Definitely good. Yeah, with definitely a lot of people here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You came to the right place to be around law enforcement.
Yeah.
Well, we like to observe y'all in your natural habitat. You know what I mean? We kind of like to see what y'all get up to. It takes a special breed to really take the taxpayers' money for your job and then go and extort them on top of that. That's your point of view, sir. Right. Yeah.
Do you guys ride here together by chance, or do you guys walk here, or do you?
No, I don't think this guy's a bad.
That's like question number 9 that nobody's answered. So they are persistent little boogers.
Guy. I just think he doesn't understand what it means when I say I don't answer questions. So I do a script flip on him to show him just how uncomfortable it really is. So, man, what's your name?
My name's Austin.
Your name's what's your last name, Austin?
Stewart.
Stewart.
Yep.
Okay. Did you come here with anybody today?
Yeah, all my classmates.
You drove here with everybody here
Yeah, we're all here together, man.
in the car.
No, not in the car. I didn't drive here.
Because
today,
you
man.
see where that would be a problem. If you all were trying to fit in the same car together, obviously somebody wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
so who did all drive with you in the car, Austin?
Well, so my line of question is really just for you guys, because you guys are kind of out of
Oh,
place. You know what I mean? It's a little bit.
What'd
out of
you
place.
say?
We're a little bit out of place. You can kind of see that.
This
how,
is a.
how we're all
is-
police officers.
Well, you don't know what I'm doing here.
That's fair. That's fair.
You don't know who I am. I'm
Yep.
sure you will. I'm sure somebody here knows, but that's fine. You know, you will learn. And either way, I'm trying to ask you a question. And you're not answering my question. You see, you're trying to divert me from my line of questioning.
Okay.
So it's kind of making me wonder why.
Okay.
All right. So let's keep on with my line of questioning. Where did you come here from today, Austin?
Well, we all come from different counties, stuff like that.
Where
so
did you in particular
how about
come
we
from?
do this? How about you give me a little bit, and I'll give you a little bit. Can we do a little bit of that?
I'm asking the questions here, sir.
Oh,
Now, where did you come from today?
at this time, sir, I don't think I'm gonna.
You're not going to consent to this conversation
Yeah,
anymore?
I think I'm done with the conversation. But you have
Well,
a good
if
day,
you
okay,
if
sir?
you're done with the conversation, I will stop asking you
I
questions,
appreciate it.
just like I asked you to.
Like, man, it didn't take long to like role reversal there.
Dip maneuvers and stuff.
It's just interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't believe you don't.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Hendry. Hendry. There's E in there somewhere too. Hendry.
Joining us for a walk. Getting everybody there a morning stroll. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You're a trainee, Austin. You're a trainee.
Nope, not a trainee. I actually think there might be somebody you might need to talk to. But,
Is that right?
yep. Would you mind having a conversation with us over here, just real quick?
I certainly don't answer questions.
That's fair.
This is gold.
Any questions? It's just part of what I do. But I'm here doing my thing.
Well, how can I
Yeah.
help you?
I do not need any help, Tim, but I really do appreciate you offering it.
Okay.
I really do. I don't need any help, man. I see you got a lot of people out here walking with me, and I like that. I do like that.
Well, we're in the public safety business.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I like to see. I mean, are you guys following me because you're concerned, or were you following me just for like a morning exercise?
There's all these people down here still.
city street.
I thought it
So basically, from here, long story short, they're all cool. They come out here. They know what the deal is. They're cool with him. They make all of the trainees go back into the building, and they say, "Hey, you're free to be out here. You can do what you want to do in the parking lot. There's no issue. All that we ask is you don't go on the other side of the fence." And the only reason we ask that is because on the other side of the fence and on the other side of that hill, there is a firing range, and students are out there firing at various times, and we just don't want you to go out there. And of course, Hendry complies, And the very, very last thing it ends with, I'll let you hear this here. It's pretty good.
You're not guilty of this yourself, but I see too many veterans
Back to school because
All right.
they're in their last days of training.
All right, good luck, guys.
Do you intend to stick around for a while, or what's your plan?
Listen, they ask him if he intends to stick around. This is gold.
We really just like to see. I want to be able to get in my car without feeling like there's going to be multiple eyes on me. So just about the time when people leave me alone and don't talk to me, that's probably right around the time that I start heading out of here.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That's where we're headed. So
all righty.
good
Well,
luck,
Tim,
Jay.
hey, it was good to meet you, man.
Yes. Happy holidays.
Yeah, you as well. Have a good one.
What amazing. I love this, but I absolutely love this. Just an amazing audit. I'm not normally a fan of the audit. Longtime viewers know why. For anyone new, I'll just say most of you know, look, I've got no problem with what these people do. There's a lot of shit going on in the world. There's a lot of stuff going on at the federal level. There's a lot of stuff going on at the state level. There's a lot of stuff going on at the local level. If you're interested in fighting the fight and doing good things and getting people involved and making sure that people are doing right, you can do it in your own necks of the woods, and you can do it in your neighborhood, and you can do it at the county over and whatever, and you can do a lot of good. Go to your meetings, get involved, make sure the police are doing the right thing. And you can do it in a way where it doesn't look like you're purposefully just out here running a scheme, poking the bear. And I'm not saying that Henry does that. I'm not saying that anyone does or doesn't do it. I'm just saying, to me, there's a whole lot to be said from the man that's driving down the road, minding his own business, and he gets pulled over and he starts recording, and a police officer gets out. And if that police officer starts violating his rights, that man starts fighting against it, and he posts that. That's a good thing. What Josh did the other day, trying to fight for that thing, I'm good with that. But just to wake up out of bed in Muncie, Indiana, and be like, all right, I'm going to drive to Oklahoma today, and I'm going to record outside of a post office. Look, it's just not my cup of tea. I'm not saying anything wrong. People like it. There's millions and millions and millions of views, and millions of people watch these videos, so must be entertaining. It's just not. I feel like those people could be better served doing a lot of other things, but hell, they probably think I could be served doing better things. So that's just my one man's opinion. It is what it is. No harm, no foul. That's just what I said earlier when I'm like, yeah, you know how I feel. That's what I mean. You guys know it is what it is. I wish no ill will on these people. I love what Henry did here because I've not seen a lot of people do this. As a matter of fact, I'm not seeing anybody do this. This going to the academy and doing this is really good. I really would hope that when they got all these trainees inside, they talked to them and said, hey, look, when you get somebody doing this, no need to get 30 people surrounding them. Just let them go on their way, and maybe they talk. If they didn't, man, it sure would be a good training exercise for the academy to think up in the future doing something like that, either having somebody that, that is related to one of the law enforcement instructors come in and do it, but having someone that the students don't know do this and see how they interact with it. It's kind of an interesting take. And I just thought it was very interesting that all these newbies were out there getting ready to shoot Henry with their fake red and blue guns. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was very interesting too. So it is very, very strange. Good Lord. So a very interesting video there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. From there, we go to the always busy and crazy city of Muncie. I know there's been a lot of people that have been waiting to see about this, and and hear about my thoughts concerning this. I know it's Christmas time, and everyone kind of thought that the city of Muncie was done until the beginning of the year.
Morning, everyone.
Oh, no, that's not true. We had Wednesday, which means the Board of Works needed to meet for their last Board of Works meeting of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, we see it's 9 minutes long. Okay, so it's not a very long meeting. I wonder if they're going to talk about anything interesting. Let's get ready to watch and see what goes on in this Board of Works meetings. I can tell you I am hot about this. All right. Now, one of the first things I want to mention is this, okay? It's a 9 minutes and 30 seconds. But the video starts. The meeting doesn't actually start until the 13-second mark. So he says, good morning at 13 seconds.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the December 27th meeting of the Board of Works, which is the last one of the year. Stand for pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
they do the pledge. We get through the pledge.
Okay, thank you.
They're
we
all
have
there.
Consideration of the December 20th meeting minutes.
Man, he's so nervous.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I move approval of the December 20th minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions, comments? Having none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. We have received the register of claims from City Controller Craig Wright. If you'd like to come to the podium and offer any suggestions or
good morning.
All right, Craig Wright is the controller of Muncie, so he's going to get up here and he's going to present the claims to them. All right, now this is the claims that he's presenting. You know, sometimes it's about $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. Sometimes it's $1 million. The claims this week were a little on the salty side, but I want you to hear what he says. He's you know what's important to talk about, and if there's anything of interest, and listen to the questions that they bring up, because we're going to look at them. We're going to look at his email that he sent out here in a minute. All right. So I want you to pay close attention to this. He starts talking at 1 minute and 17 seconds. Okay. 1 minute and 17 seconds. Let's listen to that.
Just short list of claims this week, but they are mighty. We had some sent out an email yesterday. We did get a fire station with some remodeling done, and that was done at station number 7 on Wheeling. Much needed. Yeah. We also had a lot of equipment that was purchased as paving equipment by Motor Vehicle Highway. And with that, I'll just open it up. We did it second run. We did a couple runs on utilities, just FYI, though. And I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
Linda?
I have none.
And Lola?
No questions.
Okay, and I do not. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the accept the claims as presented?
I move approval of the claims for $1,217,968.
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
And do we have any other comments or questions?
So, there were no questions, and they were done doing that. They were done at 2 minutes and 27 seconds. So that means it took them 1 minute and 20 seconds. 1 minute and 20 seconds and no questions to approve $1,217,968. $9,627 worth of claims. They just voted to pay $1.2 million in a minute and 20 seconds with no questions asked. Now, what's interesting about that is, okay, real quick, we're going to break away from the meeting, and we're going to look at this. Here's the email that he sent out. Okay. Craig Wright, Tuesday, December 26th, 3 p.m. He says, good afternoon. Please find the attached claims to be approved this week. There are a few claims I would like to bring to your attention that I have numbered below. I will be in my office early tomorrow morning. If you have any questions prior to the meeting, please don't hesitate to give me a call. And then he presents these specific issues, specific claims that are of interest. Page 3 and 4, there's a 21,000, 13,000, 11,000, totaling 46,000 to SA Boyce for the EMS fire station repair. Okay, he did bring that up. Hoosier Fire Equipment, Fire Hose Station 1, that was not brought up. City of Muncie ARP COVID bonus to civil. So that was 158,000. Okay. That was not really brought up. It had been brought up in the past, I think. Educational furniture, office parts, labor. That wasn't brought up. Southeastern equipment. Okay. The MVH. Okay. That's fine. That was brought up. Regional planning district edit government relations service agreement, $40,000. 150,000 Easy Dock of Mid-America edit Prairie Creek Piers payment to $100,000 to the Muncie Innovation Connector edit sponsorship 2024. Well, the Innovation Connector, that's where Ted works. Why, there was no, they didn't, pull that out and do that one and let Ted recuse himself. I mean, Ted benefits directly from that. He voted to pay himself. He was one of the votes to pay his business, the Innovation Connector. Okay. Then Craig says we also had 2 additional runs of utilities, Indiana Michigan Power and Indiana American Water. Okay. So it is what it is there. If we go up in here and we look, let's go look here real quick. Just see if there's anything in here that is anything of interest besides that. Anything to the crisis center. Down there. Okay, let's see here. Nothing here. That's for the park, capital equipment, Prairie Creek, MVH, other services, edit fund. Edit fund is always interesting because we see who and what he's paid out. Now, wait a minute. That's interesting. Here on the edit fund, we've got GM Development. Now, GM Development, for all of you that might not know that name, that is Greg Martz. That's the cousin of outgoing city councilor Aaron Clark. Okay, the guy that was wanting to do the firehouses and the solar project, but we didn't hear anything about that. Here's that. Wow, $232,656 $185.85. $232,656 to GM Development. That's interesting. Okay. And there's that. So now let's go back and listen to the rest of this meeting and see if there's anything else that's brought up, because they're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Mayor Ridenour.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you guys for your service. I wanted to just touch, it was one of the claims, so it was on your claim. It was described very well inside the claims, but I just want to go through why we're doing it. It had to do with the Chevy field, which is at 8th and Elliott. So in order to continue to have IDEM move forward, we needed to, this was originally to be done as a bot project, which meant that the developer had to pay all those costs. But in order for us to use, because we're continuing to move forward with the solar field,
What? I mean, my face looks like...
Wait a second. He said the developer's supposed to pay all the costs. So why was Muncie taking out an $18 million bond if the developer's paying all the costs?
Well, yeah, he said originally. But yeah, why would that be happening?
I just don't understand this man.
No, yeah, right. And listen, he said it was described very well in the claim. But yeah, that's like Diane just said, it was described very well in the claim. Let's go back and take a look at the claim. Well, what do you mean it was described very well in the claim? GM Development Companies, Chevy Field Environ 1, Chevy Field Engineering Environmental Studies, 12/21/23, 232,656.85. What? I don't understand anything there. I don't understand what that is at all. What's he talking about? Here we go. All right, let's go back to this.
going to piecemeal it in. So we're not going to borrow. But in order for me to get IDEM's approval, which I did receive about a week and a half ago, we have to pay GM Development for their reports. Those environmental reports and the engineering work that they had done is what we use to get IDEM to approve, to allow us to put in the solar field. Now we've got IDEM's approval for the whole field. We will not be putting in the whole field. We don't have the funds to do that, but all the engineering and all the environmental work is done with what was paid with the claims today. And that'll be the first phase. And then the second part, we will, sometime after the first of the year, we will be putting some solar panels in there, and we'll be putting in all the infrastructure for the solar field, for all of the solar field, but we'll only be able to buy a certain number of panels. There are some federal tax credits that are available, which you get 30% for putting in a solar field. You get another 10% for it being on a brown field, and this one qualifies. And then you get another 10% if based on the census tract income levels. So we will get 50% of what we put in for the solar field back from the federal government. When we do that, we're going to put in more panels. And then as we, as a city, and in the future, if other mayors or administrations beyond mine want to put it in, if it's not full in 4 years, then there will be the opportunity to continue to fill that up. All of these solar panels will provide revenue. We already have an agreement signed with AEP in 2023. So everything is ready to go. But I needed, in order to do this correctly, I have to pay, I'm paying GM Development for their expense that they paid for all these environmental and engineering work. So I just wanted to explain what that was. Why
I'm floored by this because, ladies and gentlemen, Kate, there, he ran a campaign for the last year. And one of the things that he and his Dan Addicts talked about was that the evil Jeff Robinson, along with his mindless council members, killed the solar field. That's not what Dan's saying. Dan's saying we're going ahead with the solar field.
Well, and here's the other thing. He makes it sound like they're getting cash back on this.
Right.
A tax credit is not getting money back.
Right.
That's just something you put on your tax return for the city. You're not getting handed a check for half of that cost. You just get to claim that as a credit on the taxes.
Well, you know, and I'll tell you, well, like what else is, like Brandon says, he's not paying for anything. We are, the citizens of Muncie are. I don't understand why he and his people always think, you know, we hear the MRC say, look what we funded. Look what we funded. You didn't fund anything, Shireen. You're not paying anything, Dan. This is crazy to me.
It's pretend money. Pretend
Well,
money.
yeah, that's true. But he just talks about like this, like he knew that we were doing this. I was told, and I thought that one of the things that they griped about was the fact that we killed the solar field. So I'm confused about this. Where's been the
because that
discussion about
IDEM, that application and request, that had to have been put in months ago. That doesn't get turned around in a week or 2 weeks or a month. That takes months to get processed. So that's been in the works for ages. So he another
yeah,
not a lie. The council killed the solar field. However, he was being extremely disingenuous.
Well, yeah, he definitely like.
And again, the council shot it down. So now since the bot idea didn't work, now we do another end around to do whatever he wants to do. He's Dan, and he knows what's best. So fuck you, fuck the council, fuck the Board of Works, fuck.
Well, that's the thing. The problem that I have is it's like I was talking to someone. We were talking about Christmas presents, and they were like, you know, it's kind of like when you have that family member. My grandma, my mom's mom was kind of like this. She would ask you if like you needed things from her house. Like she'd be like, hey, do you need this? You need this? And it's like, no, I don't need this or I don't need that. But then you would end up getting them like for your birthday or for Christmas or for just other times. She would bring them to you. And it's like, it's kind of like the idea of I know better than you. And it's like, oh, thanks. You know, like I've told you no, but that's like Dan. Dan is like that parent or the grandparent or the person in your life that's like, ask you a question, you say no, and he just does it anyways because he knows better than you. He can't take no. He's kind of like that rapist that just cannot take no for an answer. Like he was told no, and I don't understand it.
But in a way, you're right, though. He is financially raping the city.
Absolutely. Yeah. It makes them feel rich and powerful. Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, give me $1 million to spend on whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, he definitely feels. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just it's shocking to me that I'm just utterly lost that he continues to say and do these things over and over and over and over again. And the problem is there's people that don't know. We just had someone that was just hopefully a new viewer and someone that I've been talking to a lot recently that I know is going to start watching, that said, like, oh, I like Dan, but didn't know all these things. And when these things get brought to your attention, you're like, oh my God, he's doing that. We're doing that. This is what's going on now. Yeah, notice they always shoot him in the best ways here. He always looks like the bad guy. He's always like got long shadows over his face, so he's always kind of like darkened out. And he always is like the villain when he's behind the podium here at these meetings.
Well, I mean, he talks about he wants to do this, and he's hoping that mayors that come after him will continue to add onto the solar field.
Yeah.
Okay, great. But he's also, by putting in solar, he's already piling bills on top of future administrations for the maintenance of these things.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, and what's funny to me is someone, and I'm not going to name this slug of an individual, was in the comments when I was commenting on this. And he was taking shots. Sarah Beach had said something, and he was taking shots at Sarah. And I got to looking back and doing some research search on this. The old newspaper, the Star Press, used to cover these Board of Works meetings. We won't hear the public outside of individuals who watch the Board of Works meetings and the citizens who hear about it here. The citizens of Muncie will not hear about this. The paper does not cover the Board of Works meetings. Anything that happens in the Board of Works meetings, it's got to come to the paper through another source because they do not cover the Board of Works meetings.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Does he have to follow the county solar?
So I've had a couple people that's talked to me about that and that's asked that and brought that up. Absolutely he does. We live in the city of Muncie. There's a 500-foot setback, and he should absolutely have to follow that. And, I mean, depending on where that's going to be interesting. I don't know if he's considered that or not.
Oh, no, Jackie's got a good point here. The council did kill it under the bot process. And a lot of them stood up and said, we don't have a problem with solar, but this idea is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, though. Where is the money for putting in the solar? Where is that coming from? Is that
right now he's
all
paying it
gonna
out
be
of
edit
edit.
money?
Right now he's paying it out of edit.
Where's he going to get the rest of his slush money for all the other stupid shit he wants to do?
Edit, and edit.
The original price tag on putting in this solar was $18 million.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the actual cost of the field was $11 million. How big is this property? Will it handle a 500-foot setback?
Well, look, let's
with any
just
space to have any normal amount where it would be a solar field and not a panel in the middle of the thing.
Yeah. Hey, Janet, that's a good question, and that's something that a lot of people and you'll hear Ted talk about that at the end. So the Board of Works people are not appointed by or not elected by the public. Under Indiana law, the Board of Works is a department of the city administration, and they are all appointed by the mayor. They're all mayoral appointments. So, and the problem with this is there's a whole lot of people that can remember the Muncie fighting this. And like Jackie said, and like Kate said, the city council was not against solar. And I was specifically not against solar on the Chevy, the old Chevy lot. But, you know, I wanted it to make sense. I wanted it to make sense.
Well, that, and is there any plan to clean up the brownfield prior to planting these damn things on it?
Well, he says that the contract with Racer and IDEM, all that stuff's still the same, and they got to do what they've got to do, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I mean, we still pay lots and lots of money for that. So, you know, the solar field in the city of Muncie really was a cluster, because if you remember, that's the thing that the council was going around saying, he just did it on his own. We don't know. And no one knew. And then we found out, wait a minute, he did ask them and they did vote on it. And so they all made me look bad. You know what I mean? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So that was, you know, I'm still really salty about a bunch of that nonsense. But I want to show you guys what we're looking at here. Because like I can show you when you're asking how big it is and what's happening, because this is very good to look at. So essentially,
there's so many costs that come with this kind of stuff, Alva. It is insane.
Here's what we're looking at. All right, I'm clicking off, so I'm not going to be on the page. So if anything pops up, hey, let me know. Okay, so all right, people. This is what we've got. This area here is the Chevy field. Okay. These are all residential homes, and residential homes over in here. Okay. And then, of course, these are all residential homes right here.
All right. Now, what's the frontage on the property in feet?
Doesn't it say down there at the bottom? $55.26 acres. Let's take a look here.
Does it give you the size of the property in feet?
No, I guess not.
The dimensions in feet?
Let me go back up here and see if it says anywhere. Does it say anywhere? It normally says by the drawing, but the drawing's not the same.
All right. It's a square foot lot. Now I have to do math, and I don't like you.
Yeah.
200.
Math is not a good thing.
439, 360. So it's about, if it was a square lot, it'd be about 1,500 feet by 1,500 feet.
Okay.
So you need a 500-foot setback. So that gives you 500 by 500.
Okay.
Now I just did a conversion from 56 acres into square feet, which is about 2.5 million. So square root that to find the length of the sides of a square, it's about 1,500. 1,000-foot setbacks.
Interesting. Jackie says, sent the following private message to the City of Muncie Facebook page. No response. I just watched the 1227 Board of Works meeting. The city's proceeding with the 8th Street Chevy solar field is a big deal and certainly newsworthy. Mayor, have you considered having a news conference or any mention in your mayor's weekly update, City of Muncie? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question because I get all of the press releases. I've not seen or heard anything from anyone reference this. Matter of fact, Jackie, I'm pretty willing to say not only is there not a press release on this, but they've specifically did everything they could do to keep this quiet. Because Dan didn't want people to know that he was doing it. Listen, they approved this on the last, basically the last working day of the year. In the last meeting of the year, at 9 o'clock in a holiday week, basically, after Christmas, before New Year. Why didn't they do this last week? Why didn't they do it the week before? Why didn't they do it before the election? Why didn't he use this during the election? And talk about this. If this is something that he's doing for the public and that he thinks the public likes and wants and needs, and this is going to be good for the city of Muncie, why didn't he take pictures out there standing? Mayor Ridenour is outstanding in his field. So, what are you saying there, Kate?
Well, so One and Only found that it's 1,855 feet wide, which means that it's 1,315 feet deep, which leaves 315 by 855 feet in the middle with the setbacks for you to put solar panels. It's not a terribly big area.
So, I mean, I wonder if he knows that. If he remembers that the count, I mean, he has appointments to the Muncie Planning Commission. He knows that they were just dealing with this, or does he not? Is he that removed from Delaware County? Does he forget that the city of Muncie is in Delaware County?
Yeah, and Delaware County sets the zoning for the county, regardless of whether you're city, county, town, whatever.
Right.
The county sets the zoning. Solar ordinance is part of zoning. Whatever floats his boat, he's going to do what he wants to do.
He's gonna,
and because nobody in any of these boards has 1 ounce of balls.
Well,
they'll just let him do whatever he wants to do.
Let's go on from there and listen. Okay, so
I'm gonna
nobody
go before I bang my head into a wall.
Yeah, you're fine, Kate. Thank you very much. So no one questioned this. Linda didn't question this. Lola didn't question this. Ted didn't question this during the claims portion. They've already voted to approve it. Ridenour gets up after they voted to approve it. Do they have any questions now? Let's hear.
Why it's coming. You'll get another big claim down the road sometime in the first quarter as we put in that.
Oh, so we're not done paying money yet, right? Oh, I hear you. We got more money to pay. Well, thanks for that, Dan.
That solar field.
Okay, thank you for the update. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
And let me tell you, like, man, she looks just absolutely thrilled to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Like the city clerk back here, I am shocked Why don't you sit all the way off camera?
Yeah, I understand you're going to phase in. You have any idea how often those phases may occur? I mean, do you anticipate that you're using edit money for all of it?
Yes, I'm using edit money for all of it. So I know the first phase we'll put in as many as we can. But again, we're putting in infrastructure, so it's not going to be a big field to start with, but all we'll have to do is plug in going forward. When we get the tax credits back, which our hope is that we will get those back from the federal government in 24, and we'll go ahead and put in the second part of the solar field. So I know it'll happen at least twice, or our expectation is that will happen at least twice in 2024.
Excellent.
Is there any consideration for setting up some kind of fund, either through the foundation or someplace where citizens could contribute? I mean, you've got a lot of people who are interested in solar.
There is, and there were a lot of people who were very disappointed that the council did not approve the bond issue. And quite frankly, I'll just say it now, it would have been $570,000 in additional revenue in 24 had we put.
There were a lot of people that were glad they didn't do it too, Daniel. Yeah, I think that you realize, or you don't realize that, sir. There were a lot of people that were extremely happy that the council saw through your bullshit and the developers' bullshit, and they stopped your ignorant ass plan. And there's a lot of people that are not going to be happy about this.
That whole field in, which we had plans for, but we'll move forward how we have to.
What revenue? All of the revenue you're talking about would have been taken up with bond payments and maintenance and the taxes on the damn property now.
Right?
There is no revenue. You're full of shit.
Because if anybody forgets, and I do not want people to forget. All right. I have the original information, the original numbers. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull this up. That's very good. That's very good that you said that, because when this first happened and I first made my post, someone reminded me of everything, and I want to say this. This is from June 7th, 2022. The city council voted down Ordinance 1522 5-4, which would have approved an agreement to install solar development on the former New Venture Gear Chevy site on West 8th Street. The article in today's newspaper, linked in the comments below, it had the following quote from Mayor Dan Ridenour. I was very surprised at what appeared to be a political vote to stop the project for a neighborhood that is hurting. I'd like to clarify my vote to show my decision for the no vote, Councilor Jeff Robinson said. It had absolutely nothing to do with politics and everything to do with pragmatic decision-making in what's best for Muncie. There was a lot of concern with the project throughout the process. FBI investigation into illegal kickbacks and elected officials in Hidalgo County, Texas by Performance Services. Mayor Ridenour had stated that there were no other uses for the property, which was contradicted in the Star Press by IDEM and Racer Trust gross revenue being used in projections without displaying net revenue and other concerns. Forget all of those concerns, however, and let's just look at the numbers. The numbers given to the council at the May 2nd meeting by Performance Services, which was one of the companies involved with this, and who were in charge of installing the solar field, and GM Development, who would finance and own the project until the city paid the 30-year lease agreement off, are as follows. The project cost was going to be $11,675,313. Total cost, including interest on the 30-year lease, approximately $18 million. net revenue projections from performance services on May 2nd. First year projected revenue was $26,114. Ongoing projections equaled $40,000 a year to high end $60,000 a year. Expenses to the city: maintenance, $15,000 a year, which was projections by performance services. Stormwater runoff, $21,600 a year, and that comes from Beacon, and that equals a total expense of $36,600 annually. Projected revenue minus expense based on the projections that the companies that wanted to do this were giving was lowest projection. 40,000 projected revenue, 36,600 expenses. Net revenue, $3,400 a year. Okay. Taking the high end, 60,000 projected revenue minus the 36,600 expenses was a net revenue of 23,400 a year. Additionally, the property is now owned by the city of Muncie, purchased by Mayor Ridenour using edit funds in the amount of a little more than $100,000, which makes it now tax exempt. Property taxes on the property before its purchase was $24,000 a year. All right. These amounts are not calculated into the above projections of net revenue. If we included property tax loss to the city of Muncie, the projected revenue is negative on all projections. If the net revenue was $3,400 and we take in the loss of the property tax, it's negative by a lot. If we take it in on the high end, it's negative by $1,000. The proposed lease agreement states that the city is responsible for repair and maintenance for the life of the project. If the system breaks or in the event of a catastrophic scenario, the city of Muncie is responsible for repairs. What if something happened and repairs are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars? The financial outlook was even worse. Robinson presented these numbers to the council at the meeting, and they were not disputed. The mayor was there and didn't dispute it. Performance Services was there and did not dispute it. Greg Martz was there and did not dispute it. Why? When Robinson said all this, why did not one of these three men stand up and say, that's not right? As the fiscal and legislative body for the city of Muncie, it's their responsibility to do the due diligence in making decisions and make the decisions based on the facts, not politics. To be political would be act as a rubber stamp for Mayor Ridenour without doing due diligence, like the Board of Works, like the Redevelopment Commission. Folks, I'm telling you, it's time to wake up. I absolutely will mention that, Janet. I absolutely will. This is very, very, very crazy. Let me, I want to share this just so you guys can see these for yourself. I know it's hard to see. I apologize, but I'll get these up. I'll post these for everyone to see. But here are the numbers as I've read them. So, folks, it's not what Ridenour's painting, man. It is not what Ridenour's painting.
Right to not do it, but that may be something I'll have a communication maybe with, I don't know if the Community Foundation, but I may have some discussions to see how we can do that.
I mean, I think that it would be a way for people to be involved.
That's,
I mean,
that's a
if you-
great idea, Linda.
If you figured out, how much is a panel, in this, go for, maybe you have sponsors for it. Maybe you've got businesses that would sponsor one or other groups that would sponsor a panel. I mean, it gets that many more out there churning that revenue back.
That's exactly right. That's a great idea. What the dollars here allows us to do is we have items approval.
Right.
We have the engineering done for the entire field, and we have all the environmental work. And Racer Trust is still responsible for the remediation. We purchased it with that in the language of the documents and the purchase. So we have certain things that we cannot do to the land. But
Okay,
we're
that's
excited about the opportunity to
You're
generate
right.
some additional revenue and have some clean energy and to do something positive with that site.
Right, Brandon.
Which has so many great memories from the past, but over the last 20 have not been very positive. And so this will be an opportunity to move some things forward.
Do we have an estimate for how many panels?
I don't have those numbers yet.
It's okay.
Consider matching funds too.
Yes.
Maybe maybe Ball Foundation and Community Foundation could do some sort of a matching program.
Well, I think you raised some great points.
Oh my God.
And
I mean, if it would speed it along, I think you might have some civic participation in that.
Yep, I think so too.
Like the school children that
tired of
sent their
hearing from
nickels
her.
and pennies in for the Statue of
right.
Liberty. I mean,
That's
it's a local project.
Dan, you just need
That's
to go
exactly-
look
A lot
at
of
people who want to lick your ass,
Educational projects
your
related.
balls, and tell them that the only way that they're going to
Absolutely.
get any favors from you is if they sponsor a solar panel.
Yeah,
There you go.
right.
Well, thank you for the update.
Right.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments or questions?
That's the meeting. Listen to him. Listen to him right here.
Okay, having none, meeting adjourned.
We're adjourned for 2023.
Yeah, we'll see you next year.
Oh, he didn't even say it. It was the other one. Like he's just sure that he's going to be put back. He's just sure that he's going to be the next. He'll be there. He will be. They'll all be there. It's up to Mayor Ridenour to put him there. The next time they will be there is next Wednesday. Okay. So I want to offer this up to you. It's late. We've been going for 2 hours and 28 minutes. I've got one more topic. Do you want me to keep going and get through it? Or do you want me to do the other topic on our next episode? What are you all thinking? What's your thoughts? It's Falmouth, Kentucky. All right, I'll do this. We'll get her done real quick, and then we'll be done with this show. We'll just knock it through real quick because there's not a whole lot with it. All right, last topic I have to talk about: Falmouth, Kentucky. All right, this is brought to me by Darla Barber. This is a council down there where they've got some crazy things going on, folks. I'm gonna let you see a little bit of this meeting here. Talk about it.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas. The first reports say that President Kennedy has been seriously wounded by this shooting. The flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died.
Okay. The man standing is the mayor. Mayor Sebastian Ernst is his name. And you've got the council, and it's going to be hard to hear, so I'm going to have to just tell you guys what's going on. It's the council, and the council, they've got an attorney back here, and they've got the clerk, okay? And so I'm just going to give you a little bit of showing what's happening.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to adopt the agenda.
So as he called the meeting to order and has everybody to stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance, you got a council member who just starts yelling out, I would like to adopt a new agenda. All right, listen.
Yes.
Yes. What agenda is that?
The mayor just said, what agenda is that? So the mayor thought that they were here to have a council meeting, and they had already put the agenda out. So, and you got to understand, laws are in Kentucky are a little bit than what happened here. So I'm not up to date on everything. I don't know how long they have to put the agenda out. I don't know if what they did right here is illegal. I'm in the process of finding all of this information. If this was Indiana, they would not have been able to do what they just did. But basically, they were going off one agenda, and because a council member wanted to put another agenda in place, the council just voted on it and they did it. So I'm in the process of finding if out that's illegal. The mayor seems to be shocked by this.
Taking out my presentation and do an end of year review for all of the finances of the city.
The mayor just said they're taking out my end of the year review for the finance, for all of the finance stuff. So they're cutting the mayor's stuff down.
If people want to hear it and hear what's going on with our city and the financial plan that's ruining our city and has been ruining our city for the last decade or two, I would urge each of you to stay and listen to the presentation. They always say they don't have enough information to make decisions on. I'm going to give them every bit of information.
The mayor just said the council, they all say they don't have enough information to make decisions on. I'm giving them everything, and now here they don't want to stay and listen to it. So the mayor says they're cutting it out of this meeting, but if any of you want to stay and listen to it, I'm going to do it.
We've made no action until this year. By raise of hands, who would like to see, who would like, where's my bill?
So now the council's saying, can we get on with the meeting? They're stopping him from talking. So now the mayor, the council is just going to stand in the middle of him talking and do the Pledge of Allegiance. This is a shit show.
Who would like to see, who would like to see the presentation that I provided to the city? By raise of hands.
Council has adopted a new agenda.
I'm going to give the presentation. The agenda is not, it's not on here. I need to give it. I'm just here to all say you don't have enough information for somebody.
I don't know how they legally can do that. I got to find out.
So you do not want the information. These are direct numbers from our audits for years.
Okay, so the next thing that happens is they fill a council position. I want you to hear this. They have a vacancy and they fill this vacancy. I want you to listen to this.
Wonderful, and thank you for applying.
Yes. Oh, that brings us some announcements.
Susan's swearing in.
They're going to swear this guy in.
He was on council before, so it's not like he's just brand new to the whole thing.
Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of councilman of the city of Falmouth, Kentucky, according to law. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, not a duel with deadly weapons within this state, nor out of it, nor have
Listen to the end of this oath of office. Their oath of office is great. Listen.
assent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as second in preparing a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God. I further swear that I possess the qualifications for office.
So it might be a little hard to hear, but after their regular, like, I will uphold the laws of the, United States and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, yada, yada, yada. After they do the regular oath of office, at the end, there's a little additional part that we don't say here in Indiana. And I guess I wish maybe we would. It's kind of cool, but they must have had a problem down in Kentucky a point or two, because they say since the this is part of the oath that this man just took. Since the adoption of the present Constitution in 1891, I, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with a deadly weapon within the state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided and assisted in any person thus offending. So help me God. So I was like, wow, holy shit, things are serious down in Kentucky. They're talking about duels. But then I watched these meetings and I was like, okay, I get it.
Which are presented by statute, and that I am not subject to any disability.
So they swear him in, and then the mayor starts going through the rest of the the minutes, like the things they're going to talk about and all of this. And then watch what happens when he gets ready to start his meeting and start his presentation. Watch what happens here. Watch this.
They also have another closed session on here to discuss the removal of a member. Go into the closed session, we're going to discuss more things in private.
Notice having been given of the general nature of the business to be discussed in the closed session of the Falmouth City Council. The council will run closed session pursuant to.
Yes. Well, you guys are more than welcome to go meet the changes upstairs across the street.
So now he's going to go on with his presentation. The council is leaving to go into a closed session. And during the closed session, they're going to discuss something. We don't know what. And he gives the state of the finances over the last year. He's basically wrapping up the books. And here comes a cameraman in. Obviously, they're aware something's up. So the council just got up and left. And then the mayor proceeds to go over the state of the city over the last year, talking about what's going on. It's a really neat presentation. It's pretty good. I mean, like, you know, you'd figure most places would want to hear this. Okay. Then at 1:25, this happens. Oh, look, the council comes back.
What does that do to your bills? Let's look at actual people's bills. So if you look here at these color-coded ones, you get the green, yellow ones, purple, and gray.
Okay, that was the fire chief whom the mayor fired. That's interesting. Okay.
This plan right here is if we increase your electric by 50%, like we've always done, to cover the expenses.
There's a lot going on, and I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a taste, because I hope to be talking to the mayor here in the next day or so, and we're gonna look into all of this, because there's a lot of shit going on, and I think it's very interesting to see what they're doing down there compared to what's happening in a lot of places up here. It's very, very similar.
Actually, Mayor, I would like to make a motion to come out of closed session. Dave seconded.
So they just made the motion to come out of closed session.
We'll get back to the presentation.
I'm a yes to come out of closed session. Yes.
Yes.
And then this happens.
No action having been taken in closed session, is there a motion to read the resolution number to be determined by the city clerk?
I'll make a motion to take the resolution. No action taken.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
A resolution
resolution issuing charges of misconduct and setting a public hearing pursuant to KRS 83A.
They went out and they voted on removing the mayor. So now they are reading the charges and they are going to impeach him. And as one of the commenters here has stated, there is a hearing set for the 2nd, I believe he said, he or she. Impeachment proceedings are scheduled for January 2nd at noon. The mayor had his wife scheduled. Oh, and they're scheduled to be having a baby like the day before. Like it's very, very conflicted. Very, very strange with what's going on here. And I want to show you this real quick here.
With the following list of charges to be considered at the public hearing for which removal is sought. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Falmouth, Kentucky, that pursuant to KRS 83A.040. Sub 9. The Falmouth City Council by this resolution adopts and sets forth the following charges of misconduct against Mayor Sebastian Ernst. Number 1, Mayor Ernst acted with misconduct and or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office when he prohibited a civic organization from using city property because he deemed that the group fails to meet his conservative Christian values. Exhibit A, a copy of the mayor's text message to Rick Brown, November 18, 2023. Number 2, Mayor Ernst acted with misconduct and or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office. He began using his personal Facebook account as the official account for the office of Falmouth mayor, and then used that account to market property he and or his mother owned for sale or lease. These actions violates Falmouth Ordinance number 39.15B. No officer or employee shall intentionally use or attempt to use his or her official position with the city to secure unwarranted privileges or advantages for himself or others. See Exhibit 2, page 8. A copy of the mayor's Facebook post describing various actions he is or will take as mayor, and also announcing that he has retail space available with a photograph of a building the mayor owns on October 30th, 2023. See also page 10 of this exhibit, in which the mayor announces there is commercial space available.
Here it is.
Which he owns on September 15th, 2023. Number 3. Mayor Ernst acted with misconduct and or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office. When he attempted
So basically, they were reading the impeachment charges for the mayor there, and I want you guys to hear this before we close out of here. And I also have a notice that someone wanted me to read to you guys to make you aware of something.
Kristopher, are you frozen?
I probably am. I
on screen? You're frozen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, give me a second. I got the little ball of death floating around.
Oh, fantastic.
Can you
pull up that article and share it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want is try to get the video from it.
Okay.
Oh, hold on here. We might be in business here.
Okay, you're moving again.
Yeah. Okay, we're not frozen here. I just want to see. Okay, here we've got the article. All right, here we go.
Is yours working?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm hopping off again since you're
Okay.
not stuck.
All right, so it's taking forever to get this going. I'll read. Oh, here we go. Falmouth City Council has served impeachment papers to Mayor Sebastian Ernst, accusing him of acting with misconduct and or willful neglect in his duties in office. I'm not going anywhere, the mayor said. Impeachment papers lay out 3 charges against Ernst. Among them, oh, here we go.
A major development in the dispute between Falmouth City Council and its mayor. City Council and major development in the dispute between Falmouth City Council and its mayor. Council has now served Mayor Sebastian Ernst impeachment papers. WCPO 9 News reporter Madeline Audley sat down with him to walk through the charges and to get him.
Damn it.
Mayor Sebastian Ernst impeachment papers. WCPO 9 News reporter Madeline Audley sat down with him to walk through the charges and to get him. Ernst impeachment papers. WCPO 9 News reporter Madeline Audley sat down with him to walk through the charges and to get his response.
These are the papers that were served to him. They lay out 3 charges that allege misconduct and or willful neglect while in office.
I'm not going anywhere.
That's the message from Falmouth Mayor Sebastian Ernst after.
All right. So basically, technology is a pain in the ass. The impeachment papers lay out 3 charges against Ernst. Among them, counsel accuses him of prohibiting civic organization from using city properties because he deemed the group fails to meet his conservative Christian values. That's what they say, all right? Ernst, however, told the news that the group was none other than the Republican Party of the county. He said previous administrations had allowed the party to hold meetings in council chambers, which is just nuts. And he disagrees with that because the building is intended to be nonpartisan. The second charge accuses Ernst of his use of personal Facebook page as the official account for the office of the Falmouth mayor. Counsel alleges he then uses the same account to market property that he and his mother own for sale or lease. According to the council, these accusations violate the Falmouth ordinance. I've been using my Facebook page the way I've been using it for the last 8 to 10 years, the mayor told the news. They're only using this now as a reason to remove me. Falmouth's the mayor said he discusses city business on his social media as a citizen. I'm not just a mayor, I'm a citizen of the city too, he said. I have a right to speak on matters, whether they disagree with what I'm saying or not. The third charge accuses him of attempting to extort council member Robert Pettit into resignation, highlighting a message in which Ernst allegedly demanded Pettit resign or he would attend a school board meeting to present evidence of assault on a minor child. If I was going to extort someone, which I never would, I wouldn't do it over text, Ernst said. The news contacted each city council member for comment. Council member Sabrina Hazen verified the impeachment papers that Ernst provided and issued a statement. After an investigation into allegations against Mayor Sebastian Ernst, we served him with 3 charges, she wrote. Sometimes people use poor judgment, but these cross the lines from poor judgment to misconduct by Mayor Sebastian Ernst. As a city council, we made the tough decision to move forward and to bring charges against him. A public hearing has been set for January 2nd at noon to allow the mayor to defend himself against the charges, according to the councilor. After that hearing on the charges, hopefully the city can move forward together for the better of the community and citizens, the councilor wrote. Ernst said the hearing was set for the day after his son's due date. They're just trying to make it as inconvenient and the public as possible, he said. Tensions have been heating up between Ernst and the council over the last few weeks. Ernst has accused the council of corruption and inactivity. The councilor said that Ernst has verbally attacked her, and the council has been moving forward on some of his ideas. If council votes to impeach him, Ernst will appeal the decision in the circuit court. If that doesn't work, I'll just get reelected next November, he said. They think they're getting rid of me, but they're not. All right. I have watched the last couple of meetings, and these things are a shit show. They are yelling and going back and forth. The police were there. The police threatened to clear the whole room. It's absolutely crazy. I'm going to be following this. So I just wanted to offer this up to show, number one, I'm going to be looking at what's going on here. But folks, it's going on everywhere. If you don't think that programs like this and what we do are important, you are out of your gourd. This crap is happening everywhere, and it's time that citizens start banding together. So I wanted to offer that for that point of view and to let you guys know it's not just our messed up little neck of the woods. It's happening.
You didn't finish showing the meeting, Kristopher.
Mhm.
What was the reaction of the public who was in attendance at that council meeting to the presentation of those papers?
That's the very interesting thing. So the public was very mad about this for the most part. A lot of the public seems to be on the mayor's side in this situation. I'll show you here and see if absolutely.
They don't want you to do that.
Do we have to do it at noon because that's work day and
They don't want you to do that.
Yeah, they don't want you there. Well, I might have to be sick.
About the people on this list here, is anybody gonna get to speak tonight? Are you all going to shut them up too?
All of you all.
You're gonna take away everybody's First Amendment rights? Is that what we're gonna do?
The guy said, are you going to not let any of us talk? Anyone that signed up on this paper? Are you going to stop our First Amendment rights too?
Speak, you're not gonna let any.
All right, any other business that wasn't on the agenda that you want to discuss?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah. All right, who wants to stay and discuss?
Do it, just go.
Yes.
Let's go.
So you're not gonna speak, you're not gonna let anybody.
I'm gonna let you speak, let them leave.
No.
They won't listen to you.
Council.
They don't want to hear from us. How do we recall? Anybody know? Anybody know?
So you're a bunch of spineless, gutless pieces of crap that don't have guts enough to sit here and listen to the people in this place. None of it. None of it. Unbelievable. I will never set foot in your husband's store.
Coward.
Ever.
Coward. Coward.
Get rid of every one of them. Vote them all out. Every one of them.
So I like that they're speaking up. And the mayor has said that the people are starting to come to meetings now. They hadn't been, which we know that happens. People like drama, but people are getting involved. Hopefully people stay involved. Hopefully this fires people up. Just like I say around here, it always takes, you know, people to get involved and people stay involved. Getting involved is easy and staying involved is what's hard. And that's what we need people to do. So we need it everywhere. Now, there are some things I want to talk to this mayor about because there's some things I disagree that he has done as well. And we're going to talk about that, but I'm going to be fair on both sides of it. But I definitely think some weirdness is going on. This is like a total chaos that's going on up here. And there's just meeting after meeting after meeting. There was one meeting that's very much like a fever dream. There's a Santa Claus there and they're playing music and people are yelling and it's just the police are there. It just is a total freak show. And we'll be looking at that in the next coming days as well. So that was a massive lot of information to get through with all of you tonight, but we've been gone for a while. Before we go, I do want to tell you all, I've been looking at where this was. I don't see that she has responded back to me. Let me see if I can find here real quick. I just want to give you guys the right information. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yes. For anybody in the Muncie area, okay, Muncie, Delaware County, and I don't know if this will be live streamed or if this will be allowed to be live streamed. If it can be, I'll ask them if I can do it. If they mind, I don't know. Maybe they won't care. I don't know. I'll find out, but I will. I don't know. I'll let you know as we get there. But for anybody that's interested, John Schrock is coming to Muncie to speak on land grabs of prime farmland for solar and wind farms on January 3rd at 6:30 p.m. He will be meeting at the Elks Country Club on 500 West. Please feel free to invite others. So I'm going to go to this, and we'll see what happens. And I will let you know what goes on, and hopefully I can live stream it for people, or at very least static record it and put it out, because it should be a lot of good information. He's got information on 15-minute cities. He's got a lot of information on what's going on with solar and what's going on with wind and what's going on with the LEAP water grab over in Tippecanoe County. So this will be very, very interesting for anyone nationwide. I know he speaks all over. So again, anyone local that wants to go, it will be on the January 3rd at 6:30 p.m. at the Elks Country Club here in Delaware County. And that is on Wednesday the 3rd. So it will be, just in a couple days. And that'll be at 6:30. I will continue bringing that up while we are live. So thank you for putting up with me for this long. I am so sorry how long we went. Thank you. We had a lot of viewers here for a good portion of the show. Thank you all. Sorry for the craziness. It is weird because we're coming back and it's kind of a weird deal. I know it's bizarre. I should have been here last night, but we were still sick. So I'm here tonight. Now it's going to be funky. We will not be here tomorrow. I might come on Saturday. I might come on. Let me see. I tell you what we'll do. We will do a show tomorrow, and I won't do it Saturday. And then I'm going to do a New Year's Eve show on Sunday, and we might come out on an hour later, or something like that, and go till midnight. So I'll let you know. So I will be here. I will be here tomorrow, and I'll let you know. So we'll be back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Same bat time, same bat channel right here on YouTube, the Political Spotlight on YouTube. So be here or be square, 9 p.m. Eastern. You guys take care of yourselves. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for sticking around. I'm hoping and praying you guys had a great Christmas. And hopefully you didn't have the crud that I had. And I think that Kate and Niles and all of them had. So stay healthy, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Take care. God bless. Have a good night. And we'll see you then. Goodbye.